Hi,
we're the King Singers.
I'm Pat from the King Singers, and it's great to have you with us.
Hi Baidu, it's Tim here from the King Singers.
Hi BaiduMusic, it's Julian from the King Singers. Nice to meet you.
Ni hao, my name is Chris. It's lovely to be here.
Hello BaiduMusic, I'm Chris from the King Singers.
Hey BaiduMusic, it's Johnny here from the King Singers, and we're delighted to be with you on BaiduMusic here today. Yes, this is, I think, the group's 6th time to China. So the group came for the first time in 2006. You, Chris, I think, have been in the group for every visit. Yes, so we now seem to be coming every year, which is wonderful. And every time we come, we hopefully explore somewhere new. So we've now, this trip to China, we've spent a lot of time in the East. We started in Hong Kong, and then we've come up from Shenzhen, Shanghai, Nanjing, back down to Wenzhou, and then from here to Beijing. From here we go on to Tianjin, and then up to Harbin at the end of the trip. But we've been as far west as Xi'an. There's been talk of us coming back and going to Lanzhou, even further away. I think some of us would love to go even further afield to Urumqi and places like that. There's a lot of China left to explore, but we have been here a lot and we love it here.
I have come across this choir. I saw it on a news post that was on CNN, as it happens, and it was really interesting to learn that the Chinese millennials are often faced with the dreaded interrogation from their parents about, do they have a boyfriend? Have they got enough money? When are they getting married and having children? And so it's really interesting that has formed the basis of the content that these songs have been written about, and they've been very successful online, and it's a good way of dealing with the stresses of home life by putting it into song, and I think it's a great idea, and good luck to them.
Yes, well, hopefully with our group it doesn't happen too often. We pride ourselves on singing well in tune, and that's something that our group has done, has been known for doing well for decades. But of course, in circumstances, sometimes it doesn't all go to plan. And if the tuning doesn't work, what we take pride in is the fact that we all react quickly. So if something goes slightly out of tune in one part, rather than everyone else singing, this is the right pitch, instead we'll all adjust to make the entire chord sound in tune, even though maybe one part of it has gone slightly out of tune. So hopefully it's something we don't have to do very often, and we work hard on making sure all of our chords ring.
The thing is, I think a cappella is a misleading term to answer this question. I think if you're asking whether young children should sing, then the answer is, of course, everybody should sing, because singing is something we can all do from the moment that we're, 1 year old. We can all sing, we all have a voice, and we should use it. And there are so many studies around the world that have shown that if people sing, it's got a huge benefit to their health and to their intellect and to their education. So as far as I'm concerned, yes, everybody should sing as much as possible from as early an age as possible.
We really like Chinese music.
it's part of the fascination we have with touring China is meeting other Chinese musicians, and obviously the language is so important to us singers, so we enjoy learning how to sing in Chinese as well, like we will be doing in our concert tonight. We're not so knowledgeable on an expert level about Chinese pop singers, but we do have some very strong interests and connections in a way with a fascination with a couple of very famous Chinese artists. One of those is Yuzhe Wang, who is an exceptional pianist. And actually, Johnny and I, we're going to a concert of hers later this month. Next month, back in London, cool. Because we have an interest. We would love to go and see her perform, but also we have some mutual connections there. But also, it was interesting in the last few years when I've been in the King Singers, when we've toured America, I've always been amused to see that Lang Lang has often been at our concert venue, wherever it is in America, between 1 and 2 weeks before we have been there. And I noticed this last year on a tour where there were 3 or 4 venues on our America tour where he had actually been at the same place a few weeks before us. So it was quite funny. It felt like we were following him around, which was quite amusing. So yeah, I don't know. The King Singers has, throughout its history, done collaborations. It has performed with other musicians, as well as our normal King Singers only concerts. So maybe one day it would be lovely to do a collaboration with a Chinese pianist or any other kind of artist, but particularly maybe Yuzhe Wang or Lang Lang. That would be absolutely wonderful.
Personally, I'm not a huge fan of spicy foods. I tend to sweat a huge amount if I have some soup noodles, say, which are a tiny bit too hot. And it's not ideal if you have to sing straight after that. It can create some problems with acid, and it can affect your voice. So I tend to steer clear of spicy foods on tour and at home as well. But I still love Asian cuisine all over. I'm a big fan.
Dim sum?
Dim sum, all these rice noodles, soup noodles, everything, just not too spicy.
When are we next coming to China? Well, we're very lucky now. We've been coming every year for the past 4 years, I think, which is great. And we are coming again next year. Next year is a special year for us because it's the 50th anniversary of the King Singers. It was founded in 1968, and we are doing a huge tour all over the world. So at the moment, no concerts are confirmed. I'm pretty certain we're back here in Beijing, also in Shanghai, and then also in Guangzhou. But there have been talks that we might be in lots of other places. I mentioned Lanzhou earlier. Talks of going to Wuxi and Xiamen and back to Harbin and over to Xi'an and maybe down to Zhuhai. So lots of places. But one thing is for certain, you know that you will see the King Singers back in China in 2018 and a lot after that as well.
May
Goodbye,
Goodbye, Baidu Music.
Goodbye, Baidu
Goodbye,
Music.
Baidu.
Thanks for listening.
谢谢。